Peace and love, mothers. How are you?
Peace and love. How are you?
I'm great. Grand rising to you all. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
I do apologize for my tardiness. I just needed a little bit more time this rising.
Oh, you all right, mother? It happened.
Patience. Great things are happening. Amazing things. No, like I said, I just put in the chat, the Telegram chat. Like the universe is definitely answering. These things are definitely manifesting. I've definitely been putting in the work in the spiritual realm. Just trying to request, that these things come to us. The information that we need, those resources that we need, in order to be able to, free ourselves from this corrupt government and just way of living that we've all been conditioned to accept. But no, we will not accept it, and we are freedom riders, and we will continue fighting. Um, so I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch any of those videos I posted in the chat yesterday.
No, I wasn't able to. I was in the yard yesterday. It took me
Okay, I
forever. But I will get to them today. I sure will.
okay. Well, we're gonna go over some information today, most definitely. Some information to read over. I think is very important. Peace and love, Mother Mia.
Oh, peace and love, mother. Peace and love. How are you?
I'm
Um,
great.
I think I did go over I think some of the videos that you sent.
Mm-hmm.
And it, again, they make a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I'm a little familiar with the whole process, and as I'm reading, I said, it's too bad that we, you know, as flesh and blood human beings have to actually go through all this craziness. But hey,
It,
okay, until we can get totally, out from underneath, the whole tyranny of it all. It is what
right.
it is. We need to do.
Absolutely, I agree. What I wanted to, the reason why I put that information in the chat, those videos, because we are doing the right things. We are moving in the right direction. Um, what we have discussed in regards to some of the processes that we need to start this past week. We're still going to do those. But one of the things that this gentleman was pointing out was that the I watched a video of his, and he was talking about the titles of nobility and things of that nature. And titles of nobility is just like an esquire, whatever you put at the end of your signature.
Pardon me, mother. I'm sorry. When did it now? Was it okay? Maybe I need to go back and watch. Did you put up two new ones after the There was two of a particular gentleman that I you put up that I saw.
Yeah,
Um,
his name is Christopher Hauser. It's the same gentleman. He's a Caucasian dude, but I literally binge watched all his videos yesterday. Very
oh, okay.
very down to earth gentleman. Has been through the ringer. He kind of reminds me of the guy who wrote the William Cooper, so kind of sort of wrote the Behold a Pale Horse. Kind of reminds me of him. Um, been through it all, but if you guys watched that one video where he was in court, that was like a mouthful. The things
Oh,
that he did.
was that him in court?
That was him.
Oh, he laid it down.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, boom, and there was
Yep.
no yelling, no screaming,
Did
no
you see
getting in.
their faces? I mean, they were like, just
Whoa, yeah, yeah. because they knew he was speaking the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't quote. And what I noticed is that, and I think I sent you something too, Mother,
Okay.
that they didn't quote any, statutes or laws or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go off of that. He kind of went off of the Constitution. That's what he used to fight that case.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he was a flesh and blood man,
Right.
and they didn't have any jurisdiction over his property, you
Absolutely.
know. So even though they were trying to tell him, well, we need you to do this. When are you going to get it done? He said, when I get it done, it's none of your concern.
Right. It's
And
none of your business.
it's none of your business.
Because for one, like he said, he didn't have a recorded deed or anything of that nature.
Got an alloidal
And the
type.
allodial title was on the way. So he, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to figure out why they're trying to tax his contractor, you know,
Mhm.
and
Right. And he said he paid for the house
pay with lawful,
gold, with
right,
lawful money. So they really didn't have any jurisdiction over what he uh, um, was doing. And basically, he said, I hired this gentleman to do a job. And when
right.
he's doing a job on my private property, you don't even have a right to even step to him and say anything. So I was like, whoa. So
Absolutely.
he didn't stutter. He was straightforward, and he used the Constitution. So
Right.
he didn't quote their laws and statutes to them. And I think the one that I sent you yesterday said something to that effect. That if if you want to, whether you want to be public or private, and the paper, in the book, it says if you start quoting their, USC this and UCC this, he says you've then done put yourself into their
To
jurisdiction.
their jurisdiction, right. That's what
Right.
what's his face was talking about as well. Last week we were going over some of that. Lamont L.
Mm-hmm.
He
Right.
about
And he said, don't quote and he says, and basically, the reason why the Constitution is used, because let's face it, the Moors were the ones who gave them the Constitution. So,
mm-hmm.
that basically is what he was going off of. And basically, he went into, there is no lawful money except gold and silver, and I paid for the house in gold, and I have an immortal title. So, and he laid it down. I loved it. I loved it.
Absolutely. Same here. So this gentleman, he's actually been locked up for years at a time, just fighting this stuff and learning the laws and just listening to his videos. If you go, he just started his channel. I don't know if I did friend him. I'll say this, I friended him on Facebook. I sent him a message and he did respond last night as well. So I think he's like his videos, like he said, he's not looking for any money. He's well off. He just wants to help people. He's helped a lot of people that were in prison. Just listening to his videos, and some of them were of our kind. So I know he's a down to earth gentleman. Just from watching his videos and stuff like that. So one of the things that I was getting ready to say that made sense to me is he was talking about, and it's not taken away from anything that we are going to be doing, like I said, as far as taking over these accounts and stuff like that, but we can get quick remedy right now just by signing our name as the beneficiary. And he also put in, there's a video I put in the chat about the 1099-A and equipping your letter when you send your remittance coupons back for payment, signing them. So there's instructions in that video to sign them the way that we've been all talking about already, but equipping it with the 1099-A. The 1099-A is what's going to when you send it back to the CEO of the company that you're trying to get your bill paid for, you're also going to put it accompany with a letter. So all of that information is on that video as well. Just a letter stating that, hey, I know, I noticed that you've been sending me these coupons for years, blah, 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 stating the laws about, the remittance laws and certain laws that he points out in the video, whatever. I can't say them word for word right now at this point. I'm still studying as well. But and sending it along with the 1099-A. So because the way he's explaining it is that Brother Isaiah from the People's Remedy kind of explained it this way as well. These people are basically, they're just using different words. But these people that we are contracting with when we get services and things like that, whether it be lights, gas, telephone, cable, whether we are getting assistance from the government. That was another thing that he pointed out about the assistance from the government. I'll make a point about that in a few minutes, but they're trustees over our account. When we sign our application and we hand it to them, they have accepted their basically duty to become the trustee or to be able to administer your benefits, because they are your benefits. And he was talking about the laws. Like I said, I can't say it verbatim, but those benefits are to benefit us, not them. And so that's what's been happening. They've been benefiting themselves and just penny pinching us what belongs to us, and also double dipping. So when you send a 1099, you send a letter and you send your remittance coupon, that will take care of your bills. So I've already placed an order for 500 1099-As from the IRS. You actually have to order these forms from the IRS. And I can show you guys. Let me see. IRS.gov.
Yeah, and order also the 1096, because I ordered mine like a couple of weeks ago. I ordered quite a few. Well, on each page of the 1099-As, you get 3 of them. So you'll order a page.
They're carbon copies.
Right, and you'll get 3 of them. Like, so for each one, there's, like, you can see 3 companies, and then they have red copies that you send. And then you have, you're supposed to send one to the company, you keep one, and that was the other one, I think, that, I had to figure out, because I think one was supposed to have gone to the treasurer. And I think after you did it, you're supposed to actually send one of those 1099 to the treasury for set off. That's what he did.
Well, what he's saying is that there's a form that we don't do anything else. There's a form, because that's what he was, there's let me go to my notes right quick. I think I wrote it down. But he was saying that even like when you go get a car, if you were to go purchase a car, you could take a 1099-A and have the people you were going to be basically working a deal out with the financiers of the dealership to accept the 1099-A. And basically you have to instruct them on what to do if they don't know. But they are supposed to, when you hand them a 1099-A, and they accept it, they are supposed to accompany that along with a 1040V. I believe he said it's a 1040V, something that they do on their end. There's nothing, because basically the beneficiary cannot make decisions. This is what he was saying in regards to the law. The beneficiary, which is us, cannot make decisions on the trust. So that is up to the trustee to do. So we basically delegate them with the 1099 to do that. And they are supposed to accompany that 1099 when they send it in to the treasury. They accompany with a 1040V, and it's two or three other forms that he was saying. But if you go watch the video, you'll get that information. And then he said the process takes about 30 to 45 days for them to receive their payment and it to be completed.
Mother, those other two forms are, it's the 1099 OID,
OID, okay.
the 1096, and the
Mhm.
1040B are the
1040B.
three forms.
So
Now,
that's
here's the thing, Pastor D was saying not to do the 1099 OID because then it's been coming back as I mean, I guess maybe there's a particular process, but
right,
they
because that's not
Mhm.
for us to do. That has nothing to do with us. This, like I said, people been doing things wrong. So it's for the trustee to submit the 1099 OID, not us.
Okay, so that was my question, because he rattled off those forms, and I'm like, what do you do with all that? But you just give the dealership or whomever just the 1099.
Mm-hmm.
They send it directly to the Treasury, right?
Right.
And
Right.
the Treasury is the one that files those additional forms. Well, they do the filing. We don't do any filing. We just hand
Right.
our document over.
But I
Absolutely.
think what the gentleman said was in one of those videos that he did send a 1099A to the Treasury, so they would know that that the money to that account needs to be open. So that way, when you do 1099A, you give it to the car dealer, whoever, the account is already be open because you already sent it beforehand to let them know, look, I need this much open. You know what I mean? So
That
without
possibly makes sense, but I think we have to make sure that we're different in like separating the fact that what we're talking about doing now, as far as signing everything as the beneficiary, we're still in our you know what I'm saying, we're still operating in our current status. You know what I'm saying? We don't have control over the straw man and stuff like that. We're just forcing them to do what they're supposed to do as our trustees.
Now, here's the thing, though, and I hear what you're saying because I think most of them are what I'm hearing is the same. Now, the whole thing is, from what we've been told, especially with Brother Lamont, is to own nothing but control everything.
Right,
So
right,
if
right.
you still leave it up to them to be your trustees, and they're the ones in control instead of us being in control, and then us saying what gets to happen.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I agree with that. That's why I was saying this is not gonna stop us from doing what we're going to be doing as far as the DBA and taking over that stuff, but we can get immediate remedy now because this gentleman is providing us with the laws and everything that we need to enforce it. And I think the difference is, because I've never heard anyone say this during my 2 or 3 years of research at this point, of signing as the beneficiary. You understand what I'm saying?
But
I've never really heard anyone saying that. So you guys will, if you go, like I said, binge watch his videos. He only started his channel like a month ago, so there's maybe about 10 to 15 videos, and they're all no longer than 30 minutes a piece. Some are like 20 minutes. Most of them are like,
can you put his channel in the chat because I tried to find
I
out.
will.
I didn't know which one. But I see what you mean because before we change the fiduciary, then this is what we need to do. Correct?
Right. Like
Okay.
get immediate remedy, get those paid off.
Right. With the FDIC, I'm getting ready to take my bank off as trustee. I'm getting ready to send that in with the power of attorney, saying, okay, I'm firing you.
Right.
Now, me as a natural woman is going to be, in control of the bank, and then, I can host my son as the beneficiary. Because I feel as though, a lot of the stuff that we are going through is because all these other people are trustees. And so we're up to them to try to be control of our accounts where I guess maybe I'm seeing it a little differently. Like I would rather control everything, but I know as
Yes,
the
most definitely, I would too. I'm not saying that that's not, because I'm going to definitely want to get that done. I was just,
because
I
I
like the idea of what he's saying as far as trying to, get some remedy right now, the way things are.
because I stopped my 1099 A's in. Well, this was before I heard, about him saying to sign the back of it. But with package D, he didn't say, to sign it. He said, to find the CFO, send them in. And I did send them in. I hadn't heard anything back yet, and I'm still getting bills as normal. So I don't know if I should just send another one with a letter. So so I'm thinking, should I just send them again? Because it seems like, whoever, I sent it off to the CFO,
Mm-hmm.
but of course, if they choose to ignore it, then, but I didn't send it off. I didn't send my 1099 to the president yet. So. Oh, actually, no, I lied. Wait a minute. Yeah, I did a while ago. I just didn't,
And another thing, Mother, I was thinking, because he's doing a wide Zoom on the 19th of this month,
Oh, okay.
opening it up. I mean, not to everybody, but those who reach out to him. And he like in all of his videos, he's saying like, this is not for the weak. You can't be shaky. You can't be shaky. He's not going to work with you if you shaky and you scared and you're fearful of getting this stuff done. So, like he said, he's opening himself up to anybody who's willing to go through with this and get it done. And they're not afraid, so I was thinking, instead of us paying that for that consultation with brother Isaiah with the People's Remedy right now, did you want to wait and attend this Zoom that he has coming up on the 19th to see what type of information we can get from him, because I know we'll probably be able to talk to him directly and everything like that. And then once we can go from there and try to save on some money or whatever, because like I said, we don't have money to be really paying people all this money to just be getting information that's free.
Right. And then, and I don't know, again, how he, views the EFT. So I guess that's something else we can ask him. Because, again, a lot of us, are not dealing with, like, court cases, at least right now we're not.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our stuff is the financing part.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that I've been studying, because I keep saying it all goes back to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow our banks need to be involved in what it is that we are trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. So we can do that and see what he says on that half.
Mm-hmm.
To see, because like I said, I know the EFT part works.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that it does. So let's, I would like to see where he says, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd like to, I mean, not the same thing. I've been sending 1099 for 10 years. And I'm like, maybe I'm missing something. So maybe, yes, that's something that we
Yeah,
can look
go
into.
listen to his videos, because he actually did the 1099 video like 3 times, just trying to reiterate and break it down. So definitely you want to go watch, because the 1099, you got a 1099A. I guess it's to get your bills paid, and to the 1099C, he was saying, is to cancel all debt.
Cancel all the debts, right? That's what Package
Mhm.
Divine said as well. And Package Divine also has a video called 1099A, 1099C. That's the name of it. And he says the same thing. It's like A is to get your money back, and then C is to close out all the accounts. So A is acquire, C is to cancel. That's what he says. And he said, for God's sake, stop doing them good. Stop doing them good. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he sucks. And actually, he's the one that says, that the birth certificate is a transmitting utility. And, when banks say, no, I don't want to, they are basically going against banking laws. Because basically, a paper towel, if you got the signature on it, name, date, and signature on it with the birthday, is a transmitting utility. And they're supposed to take that too, even if it's on a paper towel, you know. So anything with the signature on it becomes a transmitting utility. So that's
Right.
something that they don't teach you that. And basically, because I was looking at the banking part of it, and I think I sent that to you also, Mother. It says that when you go and deal with somebody as an institution that's acting on behalf of the quote unquote corporation, don't go to even a low or even a mid level person. They said you basically got to go straight to the top of these corporations. So
Right.
basically, if you have a bank, even if you go to the branch manager, they are like mid-level, so they don't even really know. That's why, when I was dealing with that woman, she's like, we're not doing that, which she doesn't know that she broke the law. And technically, I could, go after them for that. But because she doesn't know, she has a boss, and to go basically over her head to somebody who would know that. And that they do have a department that have people that deal with private banking. So, don't, yeah, that there is gonna get done again. So, but yeah, I think, to find out, to be on, the 19th. I'm not on Facebook or anything like that. So,
He does have a I just discovered he does have a Telegram chat as well. So I'll put that in the chat for you guys.
oh, okay, wonderful.
Awesome.
So that would be interesting to hear.
Absolutely. I agree. But if you go back, I mean, I was taking notes. I got to go back and take more notes and listen to it again. But if you go listen to majority of his videos, like I said, you will kind of get where I'm coming from. Like I said, this is just temporary remedy until we get all of our other things taken care of. We can possibly like I said, once I get my 1099As, I'm about to start submitting them with my coupons and my letter and get my bills paid, get these taxes paid off and stuff like that because
So did he say this is the CEO or CFO? Because I sent mine to the CFO.
the
The
CEO.
CEO.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it down when he said it.
Okay. So I'll send mine again I'll do it again and send them to the CEO.
Absolutely. Okay. So
This time I'll send the letters because I just sent I just sent it to the CFOs because they know what those are. They know what those are. So it's hopefully it's just a matter of them not ignoring it.
right.
But I guess send it with the letters like, okay, this is what I need you to do. Blah 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 blah. So okay, I'll send it again.
Mhm.
And also, when you submit it, you got to submit it with a 1096. So make sure you order a couple of those too, because on the 1096, you can only mark one spot of what you're submitting. So, like you can't put a 1099A and a 1099C on the same 1096.
1096.
Right. So you got to use one 1096 for the C, one 1096 for the A. So make sure you order a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to read up on those different
Right.
1099 forms.
Same here.
The
Mother,
main
when we
one you're
order
going
the
to need is the
food,
ACs and the 1096 and the 1040Vs you might need.
Wait, say that again. 1098, 1096A, and what else?
Also, you're going to need the 1099A, 1099C,
Mm-hmm.
the 1096,
Mm-hmm.
and you may need to order a couple of 1040Vs.
Well, like I said, the
Mm.
1040Vs are for the trustee to submit. That's not a,
Right. It's not us for now, but
right for
eventually,
now. I got
right.
you. I got you. Okay, got you.
We cancel them as being, you know, jackass trustees, and we don't want them anymore. We're gonna we're gonna be the ones, you know, sending those in. But yeah, the 1096. So if you look on it, it'll tell you that you can only put like one 1099 form on each.
Okay. I'm going to, this is where you order the form that, I think that's what you were asking about, Mother Martin.
Yes.
Okay, I'm about to put it in the chat for everyone.
Okay. Or do we have to pay for them when we
No,
order?
they're free.
Okay. Thank you.
What? They're actually free?
Yeah, right. I said the same thing.
Right. We pay for everything else for everybody else.
Right.
Nope, they're free.
Okay.
So mothers, you know, one thing that he said in that call that caught my ear too is that you use this for transactions that are over $600.
$600, right. Yep. Yep, that's what he was saying.
And most of
So
us
I
have
need
bills
to,
on our foot are over 600. I mean, I don't know of anybody that doesn't have any bills over.
Right.
Does that,
Car
does that
bills,
include rent? Does that
car
include
payments.
rent?
Yes, Mother, it does include rent.
And probably mortgages too.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Anything
Wow.
you have a contract with.
Okay, that sounds great. You know, it's funny because I've been actually contemplating getting a 1099C to, you
Mhm.
know, to get you know, money back from my bills because I usually keep my receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I started, you know, I have to go back and listen to the guy again because I didn't finish listening to him because something happened. I had to attend to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this morning I found out that this AM that I don't know whether any of you know Elder Malidoma Some. You heard
No,
of
I
him?
haven't. No, I haven't.
No, okay. Well, he's an African medicine man. He lives in the States. He's been doing enormous work, doing private divinations and teachings all over the world in universities. So I heard that he passed December 9th of this year. So sad. He's such an enigmatic. I mean, I was fortunate to have met with him personally. Yeah, he's a great man to have lost. So he was even planning to take people in January to his hometown in Burkina Faso. He's been doing that for a few years now. Every January, he takes a group of people, and he's worked with a lot of people across the United States, Canada, and all over the world, bringing in his ancestral, the culture of his hometown in Dagra culture down to the West. That was his purpose when he was born. He was born for that purpose, and he's written some books, and in one of the books that he wrote, he told the story of how he was kidnapped by the French missionaries.
Mm-hmm.
They kidnapped him at the age of maybe 7 or 5, and he was there for about 16 years. And yeah, he escaped.
The 1096, you're not gonna need 500 of them. You might only need 5.
Oh, okay.
Because they're gonna be
So
like,
you say
okay,
I could order 1,000. I'm like, well, just give me half of that.
no. So the 1096, like, so what you're gonna do, like, if you have the 1099, like say 1099A, and you round up all your bills for 12 months, your electric bill for 12 months, your rent for 12 months, your, like, you know, your credit card for 12 months. Those are 1099As is what you're gonna need. And then you're gonna put all your 1099As on one 1096.
Okay, got you. Okay, cool.
Right. So then when you close out your account, like say you close out your Visa, you close out your MasterCard, you close out whatever, then you're going to take all your 1099Cs together for however long you want them for, and then you're going to put those all on the 1096.
Okay.
So you don't, so, and I would just say order a couple more just because you want to practice how to write on them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you
Gotcha.
don't, and then even with the 1099Cs, unless you have 100 accounts you want to close, you probably only need like at best 50 of them.
Well, I mean, it's not just for me though. I'm thinking about
I'm
too.
sorry.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Okay, I'm
'Cause I
sorry.
got a house full of people, and then
Oh, okay. Yes, I
I'm
forgot.
gonna
I'm
be
sorry.
trying to help people too. So that's why I was thinking about.
Yeah, but you're only gonna need like one. Yeah. So okay. So however many accounts you want to close. Yeah. So all your 1099s together for one person. So I would say that if you're gonna do a 1099, if you're gonna do it for you, order a 1096 for you. So I would say about maybe how many do you have 1096? Yeah, you might want to do that.
Yeah,
Especially
I
if
ain't
you're
gonna
gonna
get
do it with
enough. That takes
everybody, but you're not gonna need any more than that.
now is the
You might
W8?
yeah.
I wonder is that W8 bin on here because
The the 8 WEB, that is for tax withholdings that you're gonna give to your workplace. If you don't want
the foreign form. I'm trying to see if it's on here.
W8, it's the W8
BEN.
yeah.
See it.
I believe it might be on W W.
Like only maybe the only forms they putting on here is like the ones that are carbon copies or something. Cause I know you can print it out.
Yeah, because I think I have one in one of my forms. That I can look for it. I just mine is older than the years older. WEB. I said it.
And where's them 1040Vs at?
Oh wait, go down.
You saw it?
Hold on. I thought I saw with the W. Okay, see where it says employer product? On the bottom, go down there and see if that's.
Oh, this one, employees withholding certificate.
Yeah, but you want no, that's a regular W4. You don't want that. You want the W8.
Right. Yeah, I got the one I could just print out. I was just wondering, are those, because I know like the 1099s, you have to actually get these. You can't print those out. So that's why I was just wondering. So it's not on this list. So obviously I could just print it out and turn it in. So.
Oh, I don't want you to have that.
Right.
I know, mother. I was about to say you create a lot of bills in such a short life.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, okay. You notice how they don't want you to know about that W8.
Right.
So no employer want to see that. Print it out. You know how they don't want you knowing about that.
Well, I know a guy in the UK who has been using the 1099 form successfully to collect back his money for his bills. Yeah, he says he does it all the time and he's had success with it. Yeah.
The 1099, you said?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop sharing because I'm recording. I'm with y'all, but I'm recording at the same time.
Does he send it in with a letter as well, or when he first started doing it?
I don't know. I think somebody was talking about, and he said, well, he's had success with it. I don't know. He's now he has now nationalized himself, but he's been doing. He said he's been doing that for a long time. So
Does the United States?
Yeah, because the United States, you can, it, the United States covers every country.
No, I mean, does he live here in the United States?
No, he lives in the UK. He's a UK.
Okay,
He's the Jamaican that lives in the UK.
UK, okay. Because sometimes, like I said, I mean, maybe it's a different process I need to use, because I've been sending these 1099 to these companies here in the United States, and I swear you literally have to threaten them or do whatever, but you know, they're not as easily yeah, they give you a hard time. So that's why I'm like, yeah.
No, he just sent everything to the IRS. The IRS is the people he's dealing with. He's not doing it with any company. He just contacts direct.
Yeah. Okay. And even, yeah, because even when I contacted the IRS with my paperwork, they act like they didn't get it and they didn't know. I'm like, really? Are we doing this? So it makes
I
me
know
wonder.
I dealt with them in 2013. I sent some stuff to them. I never heard from them, but I didn't contact them to find out whether they received it or not. I sent them my stuff. Yeah, I did. Maybe I should, because I just didn't get.
No,
I was new to all this at the time.
And they were like, oh, I don't know, let me take a look. And I was like, no, this is my registered receipt number, because I sent it registered mail and I gave it to them. And of course they, you know, played stupid. So it's making me wonder, how are some people able to get through and some people aren't, you know? So that kind of makes me wonder.
Yeah.
You know? It was, because some people say, no, you send it to this. Well, Patrick Devine said, you know, also send the 1099 to the Treasury. And I think that other gentleman also had a video where he sent the 1099 to the Treasury as well. So, you know, I don't know if that's what he did first, but yeah. So I think, you know, because again, you know, if it works for one, it needs to work for all. Like
absolutely.
So, you know, it's good to see that some people say, you know, it works for them. But then it's like, okay, but I sent it in June. It didn't work for me. And I even called them to find out what's going on. And they acted like they didn't know. So I'm like, okay, so, and this was years I was fighting with these people. I'm thinking, okay, I'm sending in the right documents. So what's the problem? So, so it kind of makes you wonder, you know, and I guess I don't know if it depends on who gets the paperwork, or, you know, again, because a lot of the stuff that we're sending to the people who are going to receive it are low-level bots, you know, low-level minions who don't really know, and nor do they want to care to know. So I guess, you know, we can try that again and see if we can get, you know, I'll send it again with the letters and see if that helps. And again,
so Mother, when you round up your bills, are you basing that on the regular statement that you get every month, and you just, you know, multiplying it times 12?
Well, so what I did was I went through and like for every, right, so like for my Capital One card, I added up all the payments I made to them. To my other Synchrony card, I added up all the bills I sent to them, you know, for the year so far. And all that, and you also should be able to get the deposits that you made back to the bank. So I added all those up, all the deposits I made to them, because they're using the interest is still at the bank.
Right.
But
right.
now I didn't go after the interest, I just went after the deposit. And I sent all of those to the CFOs, and so far I haven't heard anything back.
Okay.
And that, right, and just so you use the so that's why I decided to do the FDIC route, because I want my deposits back.
Right.
And you know, because they are still holding our money in account in escrow, because again, they can't loan their own money, so they're using our deposits. So I sent the 1099-A to get my deposits back. I didn't do the 1099 B, because the 1099 B is, I believe, to get the interest that they're holding. And then C is to close out the account. So I didn't do that yet. I just sent out the 1099A because I wanted to see, you know, are they going to send me back what they owe me, you
Mhm.
know? And I
How
did
are
send
you
it.
signing it though, mother?
What do you mean as far as signing it? So the top part, I would put my straw man, and
Mhm.
then you know the dot dash dot, and
Right.
then and this is to the bank, and then the account number would be my natural woman, the name with the hyphen and the dash.
But were you putting your
Then I did the dot dash
No,
dot
right?
dot.
But you did the syntax. Okay, I understand you did the syntax, but when you sign your name, you're supposed to also put what your title, like your title nobility is with the comma, so you could just say like authorized representative or
Right, I did.
put
I
in
put
your
authorized
authorized.
representative.
Okay,
Right, I put authorized representative.
okay.
Right, I did put authorized representative. Um, and you know, and this is the first time I hear from this gentleman. From what I'm understanding, what he said, we should have signed the back
Mm-hmm.
of the 1099A. Is that what he said?
Yes.
Because I never heard that from anybody.
Well,
So
what he's saying is just like a check. The 1099A is a check.
is a check, right?
Mhm.
And that's the first time I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, that's there. And it's just like what I was reading about the birth certificate being a transmitting utility. And I
Right.
sent that to you, mother. How if you look at it, it's a coupon. It comes with rigid. So you turn it over, you sign the back, you know, pay to the order of, you know, however much amount, you know, acceptance of value, blah, blah, blah. You sign it, you sign the back of it. You turn it over, you sign the back of it because it's got the name and your birthday and all everything that you need on the front. So when banks
Right.
tell you it's not a transmitting utility, it is. It is. It really is. I mean, my God, take a look at the paper. The paper is written on paper that they used to print money on. So
Right.
that's telling you in your face this is money.
That is money. Right.
This money. You know, so when banks want to act stupid, I'm like, yes, she's gonna act. So what I did was all this stuff with the POA and all that other stuff. I'm gonna go back down there and see if I can, you know, have them set it up. And again, I know for a fact that the EFT works. I know that it works.
Mm-hmm.
That it works. So I'm going to, you know, go back down there and be like, okay, look, we're not doing this again. And if
What
you do
process
not,
are you saying works? CFG? What are you saying?
EFT, the electronics funds transfer
Oh, okay.
with the
yeah,
that's the bank basically. And you can get it done. Like Brother Isaiah was there's a video I watched. He was saying you can get it done just by making a phone call and saying you want to do a one-time EFT. But you gotta have your bank account and all that set up properly.
right, you got to set it up first so your bank knows that EFTs are going to be coming through. And
Right.
basically, you can use your birth certificate as a transmitting utility. You
Right.
know? So, so I'm gonna go, and then he shows you how to set it up with the IRS as well for the payments. You know, I guess as in lieu of sending the 1099As, I guess that's the whole mind frame behind using the IRS EFT instead of sending in the 1099As.
Mm.
But you know,
So
that's
Noah, he has a
not
video on, is it on his channel or where is that video?
Who you referring to?
No, Noble Isaiah talking about the EFT process.
That's
it's
the
it's
people's
not
remedy.
nobody. There's
Who's
another
rem-
idea.
He's the people's
Talking
remedy.
about the people's remedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has a video when he's talking about it's a video actually titled EFTs and he's in his car talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And before I knew about that process, about 7 years ago, I tried an EFT and it went through
Right.
using avoided check.
Mm.
But it had to be on a closed account.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be on what?
A closed account.
Right.
Okay.
Because if you try to do it off of an open account, then that's illegal. Because if you don't have your, and that's what he was saying, you got to have your bank account set up to know that this is what you're going to do. Because if
Right.
you try to do it off of an open bank account, you can't. He even told you they'll send it back. And they will. And they will. But off of a closed account, you know, and that's what I had. I had a closed account, but I only needed them to do the EFT system,
Mhm.
and it worked.
So that account that is closed, can you actually add up all the transactions you've had on that account
Mhm.
that you have access to at least, or you have information on, and then ask them to put that amount back into that closed account?
Yeah, because even if we think it's closed, it's really not closed, but it's
No,
closed to us.
and
It's close to, okay.
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
So what happened was, the place where I used it when I did it, I just did it as a, let me see if this really truly works. And I did it at a place and it truly worked. But because I didn't have my account set up with the bank properly, it was only like a one-time deal. So then when I tried to go and use it again, they wouldn't let me. Not the bank didn't have a problem. The place that I used it had the problem.
Right.
So they were the ones that had
So-
the problem. The bank didn't have a problem at all. Bank never said anything, So that's
so when you have the account close to you and they do the one-time EFT, how do you gain access to the funds that was put in the
there's no funds. It's just electronic transfers. Everything is just right. It's thin air. It's all numbers on a computer.
Right.
Ones and zeros on a
So
computer.
basically, you're going to be using negotiable instruments, checks, and there's supposed to be an access card that you will be able to access it through the ATM.
Set it up once you set
Okay,
it up.
okay, I understand now. Okay, I understand.
Right. Once
Or
set
you
it
can
up
even use the card to pay for things.
right. But
Yes.
you got to see, but the thing is though, you got to make sure the bank, or the
It's
place
aware.
really uses it. Right. That's why that's why he kept stressing, you got to set your bank account up. So where they know the EFT is going to be coming.
Right.
Okay.
It's supposed to be
Okay.
like a closed-in private account, so to speak.
Mhm. Which
Right.
makes more sense to get our
because
life becomes so much easier when we have everything set up properly.
Right.
Banking, setting up the banking is very important because
right, it goes through them anyway.
Yeah.
Everything goes through them, and so
everything goes through them.
right. And so what I found was that the place that I used to only allow me to do it once. Now, mind you, they were like, no. So I'm like, no, I know, because you did it through an EFT. There's no funds. There's no real money in circulation. Everything is off of credit, so you can go ahead and debit that account, do your EFT, and leave me alone. They didn't try to threaten me. I'm like, well, you go ahead, but according to HJR 192, you know the deal. You know the deal. They ain't never bothered me again as soon as I sent out that HJR 192 letter. And then told them they're breaking the constitutional law and I'll sue them if they tried. I've never heard from them since.
Wow.
Yeah, so that HJR 192 is very powerful as well, especially when they want to come after you because you owe. Really? Prove it. Prove it. Prove that I owe you everything. Anything, because everything works off of credit, and credit is not money. Credit is thin air.
Right. Absolutely.
So when they try to say what they were going to do, I hit them with the 192 HJR, and I told them. And then at the end of the letter, I said, "You send me my gold so I can pay the bill. You got to provide me with the remedy in order for me to pay the bill."
Right.
And I heard from them. So.
Well, Mother, I would like to get through some of this reading.
I'm Sorry, Mother. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. We having a good conversation. But this is one of the documents I discovered this morning. I would like to just get through a little bit of it and just see what it's about, if you guys don't mind. It's talking about the trust, and I think it's actually talking about, you know, your Q trust, which is your bond through your bank, your birth certificate and everything like that. So this is learn to express the trust. And I'll start some of the reading. If anyone likes to jump in, just let me know. So it says the problem has been the lack of knowledge on the effects of trust on our lives. We can become master, not slave, not to be construed as legal advice. Learn to express the trust. Technology views everything as a trust. Views everything as a trust first, and not as a construed debtor, etc. Learn to express the trust and to follow the rules. We've been learning about creating, claiming, and moving titles, which is what this report is based on. We're utilizing AFV, accept for value, UCC, IRS, GSA forms expressing the trust. How they got us legal fiction, the assumption that something is true, even though it may be untrue, made especially in judicial reasoning to alter how a legal rule operates, specifically a device by which a legal rule or institution, a trust, is diverted from its original purpose to accomplish indirectly some other objective. The constructive SSQ, SS, your Social Security straw man trust, is an example of a legal fiction. In 1901, Henry S. Maine wrote, "I employ a legal fiction to signify any assumption which conceals or affects to conceal the fact that the rule of law has undergone alteration. Its letter remaining unchanged is its operations being modified." Its letter remaining unchanged, its operations being modified. It is not difficult to understand why fictions is all their forms are congenial to the infancy of society. They satisfy the desire for improvement, which is not quite wanting at the same time that they did not offend the superstitious disrelish for change which is always present. Privity of contract, where privity means the relationship between two parties, each having a legal recognized interest in the same subject matter, such as a court case or a piece of property. The relationship between two parties allowing them to sue each other, but preventing a third party from doing so. The requirement of privity has been relaxed under normal laws, modern laws, and doctrine of implied warranties, trust, and strict liability, which allows a third-party beneficiary or other foreseeable user, both trust terms, to sue the sellers of a defective product. Could that non-performing product be a straw man or slave? Too many students of the common law, privity of contract, became a fetish, i.e., you're supposed to agree or have knowledge of a contract to be liable student practitioners. As such, this change has operated to deprive many a claimant of a remedy in cases where, according to the Moors, look how they wrote it, y'all, i.e., the dead with no vision of the time the claim was just. Many came to believe that a court action could not be assigned. Even now, it is asserted that a man cannot be made the debtor of another against his will, but the common law has been influenced by equity through trust, where no common law disclosure be given. A trust is wrapped in a colorable common law contract by the law merchant, i.e., the Uniform Commercial Code. A debtor could become bound by a UCC3 through silence to pay a perfect stranger, even if he had no privity of knowledge. The common law courts made use of fictions, trusts, and pretended they were not doing that which they were doing. Bingo. This is what they do not want you to know. Hansen, Principles of Law and Contracts. Privity of estate. An estate is a trust, a mutual and successive relationship to the same right in property as between grantor and grantee and landlord and tenant. Also termed privity of title, aka warranty deed, a trust, you as grantee or trustee filed by the previous owner as grantor in a successive trust. Expressing the trust with our signature and an AFV, we call it A4V, they put AFV. In 1933, they took the gold from backing of Federal Reserve notes. A contract could no longer be completed. No consideration or value could be given. Common law vanished in the public. So all contracts became or become colorable or lies. So trust fill the void. Colorable contracts wrap a trust at the core. So everything is a trust, or everything is trust. And the gifting of the res into the trust, forming the corpus of the trust. Your signature is the representation of the trust in all your past, present, and future labor or assets where your signature is the res, value, or principle. Trust. If two parties have the four elements of a trust, and employed one of the four methods of formation of the trust, then they have a trust recognized in law, whether they know it or not.
Excuse me, what does res mean? Res, what is res?
That's a good question. Let's look it up, because I was saying the same thing, Mother.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
The AFV means acceptance for value.
Except for value.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up on the legal dictionary. Res. Res. Okay, this. Okay. So res. A thing, matter, or object. I guess that's just a regular definition. Low system resources may. Can you guys hear me? Try closing some applications to improve performance.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
We can
so
do, but I'm seeing big like black boxes showing up. Like, so we
yeah, because this saying I got too much stuff open. Let me try to close some of these windows. Sorry. Okay. Let me see. I'll close this one. Close that one. I'll close. Yeah, I got too much stuff open. Yes, stop my screen share. Try this again. Low system resources may affect your audio quality. I don't know why I'm saying that. I guess I probably need to reboot my computer and come back on, but let's keep trying to go because this stuff's still popping up though.
I just want to say this. I just recently noticed that my floor, the building where I'm living at in Belize, they just opened because I occupy a floor where they have companies. So I noticed in one of the doors, they put CCS Trust Limited. They just, and I just went on their website and they're called Capital Corporate Trust, Capital Corporate Services Trust.
Wow.
And I'm just reading, yeah, oh my gosh, they said corporate, it says Belize is a member of the British Commonwealth. Its legal system is embedded by British legislation. And it says in the early 1990s, Belize enacted several offshore legislations, including the International Business Companies legislation. The IBC Act of Belize is based on very modern corporate legislations and is known as one of the most attractive legislation in the region. Belize has topped the list in the offshore jurisdictions ratings as the leading jurisdiction in the aspects of offshore banking, confidentiality, corporate legislations, communications, and the jurisdiction with very minimal taxes. Yeah,
Wow.
so the laws of Belize tend to include opportunities for setting up a trust, fee zone investments, owning intellectual property, engaging in offshore banking, and several other affordable investments and incentive schemes. And it says international travel to Belize has steadily increased, and many people from afar have chosen Belize as the place to best diversify their financial affairs and protect their assets.
Wow. Okay. Sound like we making a good decision, y'all. What y'all think?
That's gold. That is gold.
That is gold, yeah. So, and I'm looking at their services. It just sounds very good for what we want to do.
Screen again. Hopefully it doesn't keep acting up. Low system resources. Okay. I'm going to hop off and hop back in, y'all. I'm going to make Mother Mia
The host.
Yep, for right now.
Mother, I'm sorry, which book were we reading out of? Because I'm like, okay, that looks familiar, but where are we?
Well, this is something I had just found. It's called the Express the Trust. I can send it to y'all. It's I'll have to send it to you on, because it's on my Google Drive. I just saved it on there. But I have found it inside of Christopher Hauser's chat.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna hop off right quick and hop back on, because I don't know. I have to reboot my computer.
I'm sure it's all I'm sure it's up in the Wise Handbook of Trust.
Yeah,
Because-
because I was going to say